Oh wow! Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory with me, Deepai. We don't make it easy for ourselves, do we? So it's finished at the Karaiskaki Stadium. Arsenal 3, Benfica 2. Oh god, I'm still coming down off of it. Yeah, it was a very nervy game. Started off very nervy. It felt like that it could go either way. We then, in the 21st minute, there was a through ball from Saka. Aubameyang got on the end of it, lifted it over Benfica's keeper, 1-0 to us. And at that point, I can imagine most of Arsenal fans, collective arsehole, just released. It was just like, whew, that was it, you know. But yeah, by that point, we were a little bit. We were on top anyway. I mean, well, to be fair, I think Benfica for the first 15 minutes were sort of on top of us. Once we scored that goal, it was all Arsenal. Then 2 minutes before half time, they've got an attack outside our area. I forget which Benfica player takes the ball down, but Ceballos goes in tries to make up ground where David Luiz isn't there, and goes in for a tackle and gives away a free kick just outside the area. And their attacking midfielder Goncalves scores like a fantastic free kick. Basically, like you knew as soon as he hit it. In fact, I knew from the point that he got fouled, but the point that the Benfica player got fouled, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to go well. They're either going to loop it over and someone's going to head it in, or that whoever takes this free kick is going to score it. And he did. And to be fair, it was a worldie. So, and then in the last kind of like a minute and 30 seconds of the first half, we just looked like we were trying to hang on and go in at 1-1. Luckily, we did. We then came out in the second half again. Another sort of nervy 5-10 minutes. And then we get a corner, and Erdegaard takes it from the left-hand side. And we get the keeper, whose name escapes me. The keeper for Benfica is Leiter. He comes out, smothers the ball, recovers really quickly, boots the ball out, starts falling in our half, comes down to Ceballos and there was no one really no one on him. There was no man on or anything like that. The ball comes down to Ceballos. Instead of like controlling it, he decides, I'm going to head it back to Leno. So he goes to head it back to Leno, and he doesn't get enough on it. And unfortunately, on his on his left hand side, Rafa Silva comes up, nicks the ball off of him. Ceballos put it into his path, just easy as you like, round Leno, taps it in, 2-1. At this point, they've not only cancelled out the away goal that we scored in the away tie. I say away tie with bunny ears because it was they were both both games are in neutral ground, but they've also scored another goal, which means that they're 3-2 up, and it means we have to score 2 goals. At this point, I'm kind of thinking, yep, season's done. Going to go on Twitter after this. Everyone's going to be having a meltdown, saying that the manager's shit and that the manager needs to go and that like the players are shit and all this kind of stuff. And then, sort of out of nowhere, he made a few substitutions. So he brought Willian and Thomas Partey on. Sort of just after they scored their goal, Benfica scored their second goal, he brought those two on. And Partey, I thought, yeah, that makes sense. Bring on Partey because he can hold up the ball well. He gets the ball and passes it. He's also good at tracking back as well. So I thought, oh yeah, well, he'll hopefully shore up the defence and give us a bit going forward. And then with Willian, I don't know whether it's because I've started to kind of whether I'm allowing myself to believe the hive mind that everyone, like, if you don't believe that Willian is, then you're not a proper Arsenal fan. That kind of silly logic. But I was worried when Willian came on because he has been playing badly. He has been a complete flop since he's come to us. And for the first time since the Fulham game at the start of the season, he gets the ball on the left-hand side, puts in a pass to the Benfica box. Tierney picks it up and just drives a shot across the area, and it's in 2-2. And the way that Tierney celebrated was like he just scored in the World Cup final for Scotland. It was crazy. And he was like geeing up all the players. I mean, I agree with a lot of people when they say that he is a potential captain when Aubameyang goes or when Aubameyang's done. It's madness. Like, yeah, 2-2. So at this point, it now becomes, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? It becomes that nervy 10-15 minutes of where you think it's going to be the Emirates against Olympiacos all over again. And how ironic would it be that we get knocked out of the Europa League in their stadium yet again, or we get knocked out in their stadium of the team, we get knocked out in the stadium of the team that we lost to, we got knocked out by last season. And then, you know, Saka didn't really have the greatest of games, even though he set up both goals. Out of nowhere, I felt it was out of nowhere because I couldn't see where a goal was coming from, and then out of nowhere, Saka just picks it up, drives into the area, gets some space, loops it over towards the left-hand post, and Aubameyang just puts it in. And I'm like, I got up as if I was Mikel Arteta. I got up and screamed like I was Mikel Arteta on the sidelines, like, because I wasn't expecting it. I thought that would be it. We would just peter out to a 2-2 draw, and Benfica would go through. But I'm going to enjoy it. I know that there's going to be people out there that are like, "Oh, the performance was rubbish," blah 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 blah. Just look for an excuse to like bash the team because of the situation we're in the league. But in terms of character, like, I felt even when we went 2-1 down, we were still trying. We were trying to push for that equaliser. It looked like we were taking it one step at a time. We went 2-1 down. It was like, okay, fine, we've got to regroup and go again. Look for that equaliser. Once we got that equaliser, it then looked like we were like, okay, now we've got to go for the win. And to be fair, at that point, Benfica were just playing for the draw. They were playing to just get through. They were poor, really. Both, you know, all three goals that they scored across the tie were all from mistakes. In the first leg, it was from Smith Rowe leaving a hand waving to concede the penalty. Their two goals in this game was both from Ceballos mistakes. You know, Ceballos putting in a tackle that he didn't need to put in, and, you know, an undercooked defensive header that went wrong. You know. But overall, they weren't that good. They had a few flashes here and there. I think just after Aubameyang scored the third goal for us, they had a attack on goal where it was headed in, it came off the post, and Gabriel got it away. Luckily, it was offside. I think I heard Tom Canton on the Gooner Talk say that he didn't think it was offside, but I didn't see it. I didn't care at that point. I was like, well, Gabriel got rid of it, so it's fine. But yeah, like, it's just one of those things, you know. And Arsenal never really do this. Draw is tomorrow, and I'll probably touch on that in the preview for Leicester, which I'm probably going to do tomorrow. Yeah, so we're through to the last 16, and I bet we're going to get someone difficult. Let's have a look and see who is left in the competition. So, Europa League, last 16. So, we've got Ajax, us, Grenada, Molde, Rangers, Shakhtar Donetsk, Spurs, Villarreal, Club Brugge, United or Sociedad. Well, United, basically. Krevna, AC Milan, Leicester, Slavia Prague, Roma Braga, Dynamo Zagreb, Krasnodar, Leverkusen, Young Boys, PSV Eindhoven or Olympiacos. And let's see what's going on at the moment in the Europa League fixtures. The current Europa League games. So Milan are drawing with, so that would mean that I guess Crevena would be going through from that. It looks like Leicester are going out. Club Brugge look like they're going through from there at the moment. Obviously United are going to go through from theirs. Young Boys look like they're going to go through from the clash with Leverkusen. I think Roma will probably definitely go through from there. Dynamo Zagreb look like they're going through, and I think that would mean that PSV are going through from that thing against Olympiacos. So I personally think we're going to get somebody like Roma or United or Leverkusen or someone like that, because at this stage we always seem to get a hard team. And if we get past that, I have a feeling that we will get one of the English teams in the quarterfinals. It's going to be. I can just imagine that we get Tottenham in the quarterfinal. that would be mad. But yeah, let's see what happens. Let's just quickly run into the player ratings. So I gave Leno a 7. I think he had a decent performance. Both of the goals he couldn't really do anything about because they were external mistakes that he couldn't have done anything, or they all created from external mistakes. Bellerin, I'm going to give a 5. He was poor today, but I say poor. He was bang average. There wasn't anything really to shout about with his performance. Gabriel, I'm going to give it an 8. I really enjoyed Gabriel's performance. I think everything that came to him, he dealt with. He was never caught in possession. He was never caught out of position. He was first to every ball, held up everything. Really good performance. David Luiz, I'll give a 6. Although he played well, I didn't see anything that stood out to me as like exceptional. Tierney, I'm going to give a 9. Always trying, and for that celebration alone, that bumps him up from a 7 to an 8, and the fact that he scored and got us back into the game and the heart that he showed, apart from his crossing, I'll give him a 9. Ceballos, I'm going to give a 4. I don't actually think he played that badly. It was just those 2 errors that knocked his mark down for me. Xhaka, I'm going to give a 6. Again, just an above average performance. Didn't really see anything he did. He was just dogged. He was just the normal how Xhaka's been at the moment. Odegaard, I'm going to give a 6 as well. I thought he was okay. I don't think he's the answer in terms of number 10 necessarily. I don't think he's there's no point to him. But at the same time as well, I don't necessarily believe that he's the answer. And I'd be very disappointed if the club just signed him permanently and go, oh yeah, that's our number 10 sorted now. Emile Smith-Rowe, I'll also give a 6. I felt the occasion got to him today. And this is the problem and this is what I was saying on the preview about, and also he was played in the wrong position, but I feel like putting, all of our creative answers on a young kid's head, might be an issue. Ober, I'm going to give a 7. I think his work rate was really good, and obviously he scored the 2 goals. He scored the goal that got us through. But at the same time, there wasn't really anything massively outstanding that he did today. Saka, I'm going to give a 9, because even though he didn't play that well, he always trying. The two assists that he gave, and that's 18 assists this season in all competitions. The kid's unbelievable, and I just hope we can keep a hold of him for a long time. I hope that we meet his ambitions, and I hope he stays and becomes an Arsenal legend. Then into the subs, I'm going to give Partey a 7, because I think he did pretty well when he came on. I think the game changed when he came on. I also think the game changed when Willian came on, so I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I think Willian gave us a lot more options, and obviously he set up the goal for Tierney. So yeah, I'll give him a 7. Laka, El Neni, and Chambers, I'm just going to give a 5. They did their job basically. Kept Benfica at bay for the last 5 minutes or last 3 minutes or whatever it was. That's in relation to Oneni and Chambers, and like I didn't really have that much time to do anything, but work rate is always good with him most of the time. I haven't written a score down for the manager, but I'll make that up now. I think I'll give him a 7. There are a lot of people shitting on the starting lineup. I wouldn't have gone with Smith Rowe on the left, and I probably would have had Pepe in there, and I probably would have started Laka over Oba. But obviously, I'm not a football manager, so that's just my opinion. But I think the substitutions paid off for once. He obviously instilled in them at halftime that you have to push for a win. Nothing will nothing will matter. Nothing else will matter other than a win. And I think in general he got us through, which is the most important thing. Yeah, so that's that. We move on to the round of 16, and we've got Leicester on Sunday at the King Power, which is going to be another difficult game. And I think in the league, as I've said many times since I started doing this, that our main objective now with the league is just to finish as high as possible. And that was always the case from the start of the season. With a rookie manager, with not a proper transfer window, with only loans and all this kind of stuff, like, finishing as high as we can was always, for me, the most likely conclusion of the 2020-2021 season. And next season will be where we can judge Arteta properly, I believe anyway. Right, so that's it for this video. If you're new around here, give it a like and subscribe. Follow me on the socials in the description below, and let me know in the comments what you thought of today's performance. Be nice. Don't be a kid. Yeah, I will speak to you for the preview of the Leicester game. Hopefully tomorrow, if all goes well. Take care, everyone. So stay safe. Deepai signing out. Bye-bye.